Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tradesman Experience. This is the podcast built by tradesmen for tradesmen. My name is Josh, and across the table is, of course, Mr. Nate Newton. Nate, how are you, sir?
Oh, you wanted to invite me this week, huh?
Once in a while.
I get it. Kitty's more important.
That is, I will agree with that. A hell of a lot.
I'm not going to do to you whatever she does to you, so just don't
How do you know? No, man, it has been a bit chaotic. So you and I have not been in here 2 weeks in a row. So 3 weeks ago, we did our Whatever It Takes recording.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
And just a lot going on. The 2-day event, the 2-day business builder that we're launching in Reno. Been working on that. We're still doing all of the back end logistics for the online workshop that's coming up. We're going to be launching that. And I had this whole place basically torn apart and reorganized so I could record training content. Mm-hmm. And I was just like,
if you don't want me to be on the show, just fucking tell me.
It's like, how can I weed him out?
I got interviews this week.
Yeah. Kind of don't need you. No, so it's been just a neat combination of a lot of shit going on.
And it feels like all the work right now is like going in the right direction. You know, like it's not fighting off the spiral. Mm-hmm. You know, shit feels constructive right now. And like Matt and I had a 4-hour meeting today. It was supposed to be an hour and a half, and it turned into 4 hours. You know, but we're kind of getting out of the weeds a little bit. We're able to focus on the things we need to focus on, and we're not in just complete damage control.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was really good. It helped us realign on, the path we're heading in. It's going to help me make decisions as far as what I bid on and, what I'm pursuing. And dude, we've ended up doing a bunch of shit we don't want to do. And we knew we didn't want to do it, but it was all about just getting the work. And sometimes it's not about just getting the work. It's about getting the work that you're going to make money on, the work that you're good at. And I mean, like, what we have kind of figured out is deferred submittals. And anybody that's out there in the contracting world knows what a fucking shit stain deferred submittals are. But we found this really good outfit to work with. And we, it's not done yet, but because we're dealing with one right now that's a fucking shit show. It's holding the whole project up, and we still don't have finalization on shit, and we're just running in circles. And so we took it upon ourselves to chase down, okay, clearly this deferred submittal thing shows up a lot. So where nobody wants to bid on it because it's a fucking pain in the ass. So how do we systematize this and get the right people involved and chase this thing down? Now we have these avenues to really make some good money on them and deal with them properly. So, and now we know that we have to start engineering and everything on a deferred submittal the moment the contract is signed. So that way nobody's waiting around on it, because it takes months to get it sorted out.
Interesting. Oh, victory that you guys have is, and I'm so excited about this direction of the company, is you have your first Battleborn owned rig.
Yeah, we do. 2006 Chevy 2500 with the LBZ in it too. But it's already set up. It's got a saddle tank on it and everything, which is great for fueling up equipment on site. But to just have our own rig, and we put so much effort into giving people the opportunity to rig up, but then that equated to us, because we wanted to pay them more money. We wanted to give them all the opportunities to, make really good money. And then we sell them all of our equipment dirt fucking cheap, and then they quit. And then we're just standing there with our dicks in our hands. Like, oh.
Wait, we lost our rig welder and our equipment?
Yeah. Right.
That's not a win.
Dude, because we used to have probably 2,000 feet of lead.
Yeah.
We have maybe 500 right now.
Yeah.
And that's we have 3 welding machines, so that doesn't get you very far.
Well, Matt sent me a picture of it the day that it arrived, and it's a conversation that the three of us have been having for 2 years, year and a half.
Yeah.
And again, you guys err on the side of giving, and you continued to, go down the path of giving, whether it's opportunity, money, the things that you talked about. And finally, you guys got to a point where that transition is necessary for the company to grow. So when Matt sent me that picture, I was like, fuck yes. Like,
It's got badges on it now too.
does it?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows
Yep.
it's us. That's
Yeah.
great advertisement, especially if you're up at like Clear Creek and shit like that.
Yep.
And then we're taking that box truck that we got from Mr. West, and they just gave us the box truck. All they wanted was the lift off of it. We fixed a couple of electrical things. I think we put like $1,500 into it. Now we got a box truck that we're going to use solely for ornamental.
Which is so great.
That's fucking awesome.
So great. So now I'm going to share with you my ignorant ideas because I obviously I'm not a welder and I don't
Can't wait.
I know. So because the way my brain works is just like with a shop, maximum revenue per square foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked Matt, I said, can you put 2 welders on a flatbed? And he was like, that's a lot of weight. And I said, okay, well, hear me out. I said, what about 2 Trailblazers?
Mm-hmm.
I said, because again, if I've got a 4-door truck,
Mm-hmm.
I want maximum revenue
Right.
out of that rig.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have the opportunity to have 2 welders in a 4-man vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
I said, is that an option? I said, can you put 2 Trailblazers on the back of a truck and be efficient? So it was a conversation I threw him because I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I've never set one of these things up in my life.
Right.
But that's just my stupid brain going, okay, how can we double this? Like, how can we
Right.
maximize on this?
Yeah, and for that truck, no.
Right.
You know, and we're already not going to be able to tow the gooseneck with it because the machine gets in the way. So we'd have to like take the machine off, put it on the gooseneck, plus all of our fucking steel that we're hauling for the day. But we are looking at getting a cabin chassis, 3500 or 350.
Okay.
And that one will be set up a lot different, and that'll probably have 2 machines on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're like you said, 4 guys. You know, and we only usually dispatch 3 guys to a job, especially on the custom home shit, because there's not enough room to have 4 people operating up there at the same time. So that's going to be our next step. Mm-hmm. So we figure if we have 2 trucks and then we have the box truck,
Mm-hmm.
and because we had talked a little bit about what our growth and expansion is going to look like, and growth and expansion for us right now doesn't look like chasing bigger and larger work. It's refining our processes and systems and doing things so efficiently that we can get in, get out, and move on to the next one. And a big thing for us, and you know, Thomas even brought it up because we had some shit going with an inspector. He was like, hey, I wanted to tell you that this is going on because I know you're a quality-based company. Because everything we do is based around quality. And it's like, dude, that was good to hear, you know, like that was something awesome to hear. And that's one of those things that we want to maintain with Battleborn Welding. We built this company on quality. We want to maintain that. And if that means that we're not out chasing fucking $2-3 million tilt ups, dude, slapdick ironworkers can go deal with that for all I fucking care. You know, I'd rather put our talent and effort into high quality, high end shit.
Yep.
You know,
Well, you also know how to gear up the business too.
yeah.
You know how to gear up and tool up,
Yeah.
so you can go after that market efficiently.
Mm-hmm. And do the custom home market never goes away around here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tahoe.
Yeah.
Global money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Not nation money, global money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. So no, having 3 trucks in the fleet specialized is going to be a game changer for what you guys do, how you dispatch, who you dispatch, who's running what truck. It's going to be huge.
Yeah. And we had a really good long conversation about coordination today, and that provided a lot of clarity for us on how we move forward and how we expand and how we grow as a company and what that looks like. And yeah, it was, we had a 4-hour meeting. So, it was, and we talked about everything, so that, and you got to fucking have that, especially after times of turmoil. Like, we've been in the shit for 4 fucking months. So after times of turmoil, it's like, okay, let's reconvene, figure out what got fucked up. How are we going to adjust this? Who needs to be taking care of what? Why do we have all this overlap? How do we eliminate the overlap? Because the overlap was a huge problem we had, where it's like we thought other people were handling things, or 2 people handled the same thing. You order a $10,000 steel package and 2 people ordered the same fucking steel package. It's like, oh, can we return this?
Nope.
Yeah, for a 20% restocking fee.
Yeah.
So, but that's one of those leadership maturity lessons that came along, and we learned a lot about people and a lot about team members in the last 2 months, and we realized we really looked at our downfalls when it came to our leadership and what we allowed, what we didn't allow, how we dealt with certain things, and we learned we're entirely way too nice, and not from a place of like, oh, people don't deserve this. It's from a place of this business has to survive, and there's things that have to happen.
I'm laughing because it's accurate.
Yeah, and you can't put your team in front of the business, because without the business, the team doesn't exist.
You can never put people over the mission. So I call it people over purpose. You can never put people or a person in front of the purpose, because it brings the whole thing down.
Yeah. Then nobody has a fucking job because the business goes under. And it's like, because I know I've come in here and over preached that. You got to take care of your people. And you do. You do have to take care of your people. But understanding what that looks like and the sustainability of what you think taking care of your people looks like, you got to look at impacts on payroll, impacts on morale, impacts on logistics. And, there people are like, oh, I'm just going to hire a couple more guys. Like, do you got more fucking trucks and machines and all this stuff to support them? When we can't go do a railing job because one of our machines is down and two of the other ones are out in the field somewhere else. It's like, damn, what happened?
Well, and it's, obviously the question is what happened, but the question behind the question is, what is it that we've been doing to allow this to happen? How did we get here?
Yeah.
What decisions did we make 6 months ago or 12 months ago? And again, that's why I'm excited about the path you guys are taking now, about owning your rigs, about the company owning the rigs.
Right.
And I mean, you and I are summarizing this, but we've spent probably hours collectively having the conversation about looking at compensation. How can your team members make more money by taking the rig rates off the table? And there's still opportunity there.
Yeah.
But you have to be, you guys are talking to me not about nice, but it's like be firm but fair.
Yeah, right. And the thing is that we'll never take away opportunities for advancement, but you have to earn those opportunities now. We're not just going to silver platter out to be like, well, if you do this, then you get this. And it just because all it turns is to people aiming at metrics rather than becoming better as a team member, as a leader, as a tradesman. It's like, oh, I'm just looking at this fucking number. I have to hit this many hours. I have to pass this test. Like, those are dumb metrics to run by.
Yeah. But you guys learned a lot doing it.
We did. Yeah. And but the lessons are so much more deep rooted, like there's a conceptual understanding of why we're doing this. Because like I said on the last episode, there's a difference between knowing and understanding. And we knew. Now we understand. I might be missing a testicle that got lodged back up into my body, but yeah.
What's interesting is this shit takes time. And I don't give a fuck what coach or podcast you listen to. There's no plug and play equation for you to be successful. And everybody's going to do it in their own time. And I think I actually said that in our last conversation. But one of the coolest things I witnessed the other day, I was working with a client up in Reno, and we just kind of kicked off our normal conversation. I'm up there every 3 weeks with him, and we got to talking about the business. And what was really interesting is my intuition. I could feel something was different. And we start talking about the business and the operations. And he says, I finally realized that it's easier to run this company with more people. And
what? Did you say that wrong or
no? But I said, I want you to say that again. And he said, no, I'm serious. He goes, I finally realized that if I want to build this company the way that I want to, I have to have more people. And I have to have this structure and these systems and this delegation. And I was like, I was so excited for him to have that revelation.
Okay. So I took it at
It sounds counterintuitive.
at the rudimentary level of like, oh, just more people, and I'm like,
Right. No, more of the right people.
okay,
Right? More
Yeah.
people, but more of the right people. So it was a really awesome thing to see him have that revelation. And again, I could already tell a difference in him. His leadership maturity had also flipped over. And he has a whole new appreciation, understanding, respect for his business, and a whole new goal in mind. And now understands that, okay, I can do this.
I think once people start looking at the main determining factor is building systems and operations, and then bringing the people into that, and not go find the people and build the systems around it. And that was such a huge revelation for us along the way, and that dumbass mentality of, oh, just throw more people at it and it'll
Right.
get done. And it's like, well, you don't have the support for these people.
Yeah.
So you got to build the support, and then you can bring more people in. He is right. It is easier to run a business with more people, but it has to be structured and done in the right way. So that makes a hell of a lot more sense where my mind went in the beginning.
So now I want you to segue. Ask me the question that you asked me before we started recording about people in business.
Like what the
you said how many people do you think would
oh yeah, how many people do you think would do it again?
Yeah.
If how many people would go into business again after going through it their first time? How many people would go back and do it again?
And how many people actually like being in business?
Right.
And I said more than half would not do it again, or more than half do not like their business.
Well, because I've had this revelation with talking with people like other business owners that they're like, I don't like this anymore. And I think a lot of people jump on to start a business and they never think about what the end game of it is, because there is no fucking end game. Unless you sell the business, there is no end game, and it requires a massive amount of maintenance. Even if you build it up to the point where it's quote unquote self-sufficient, there's no such thing as fucking passive income. So get that out of your head right now. But in order to do that, most people don't see the forest for the trees when it comes to it, of what it takes to do this. And then they get trapped in it. They get all excited. They do great. They build the business. And then they're like, well, when does it stop? When is it over? It's like, it isn't, and because that's the kind of the conversation I wanted to have, because I was listening to Andy Frisella and Ed Milet.
Was Ed on Andy's show, or
Andy was on Ed's show?
Okay, because I haven't got to it yet. So
yeah, and they were both talking about entrepreneurship, and they're like, "Would you do it again?" It's like, fucking probably not. Even the guys at that caliber.
Interesting.
Were like, I probably wouldn't do this again if but that's the thing. Knowing what you know now, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But if you could go back and warn yourself from going down that path,
yeah,
would you?
I know I would, with no question.
I know I would start another business.
With no hesitation. I have no hesitation.
Battleborn fell apart tomorrow, I would go into business again.
Yeah.
Would it be a different industry? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I've kind of grown tiresome of construction, and not because I know every industry's got its fucking problems, and they're all pretty similar problems, but construction's a motherfucker, man.
Yeah. I would do it again. Again, no question, no hesitation. And even knowing the result that I had, in my first business, I would still do it again, because I had the best fucking team, and we did amazing things together. And at the end of the day, the negative outweighed the positive, because I didn't have a participating partner. But even all through all of that shit that I went through, fuck yeah, I'd do it again. And honestly, one of my near future goals is to start getting into acquisition, into acquiring percentages of businesses, and coming in, structuring operations and systems, and
building them
people.
up.
Yep. Yep.
That's entrepreneurship, right?
Yep.
That's not business ownership. That's entrepreneurship.
That's right.
I hate that fucking term that all these little TikTok fucks run around with. I'm a serial entrepreneur. It's like you half-ass started 3 companies and none of them are producing any revenue. So what do you mean you're a serial entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you actually look at the definition of entrepreneurship, it basically tells you that it's someone that is willing to take out all the risk to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a risk-taking job at the highest level.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, and people got to understand that risk isn't just risk of whatever you got going on. You got other people's lives in your hands, you know? And that's a big fucking deal. If you're somebody that's never had to fire anybody before, that fucking sucks, dude. It sucks. Well, we've had to do it twice in the last 2 weeks, and I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. I hate telling people they're not good enough.
Right.
It's not my fault that they're not, but I hate fucking having to be the one to call it out, you know? And that taking away somebody's livelihood, and that shit wears on your soul, man. It does, you know?
Well, you just change the narrative like I do. If I fire someone, it's because they made a decision that they don't want to be here, and I'm preventing them from their next opportunity if I don't.
Right, and that's where my hiccup comes into play. Like, did we give them enough? Did we give them enough opportunity? Did we give them enough direction? Did we give them enough growth? Were we good enough leaders for them? And it's like, sometimes you got to understand that you're just out of people's leagues.
Yeah.
And there is a hierarchy to life. As much as people want to believe that fucking equality shit exists, fuck you. Equality is a sham. It's something to keep you upset with one another. Equality doesn't exist. You and I aren't equals. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying we're not equals.
You can't be equals because everybody has different strengths, right? And your zone of genius is different than mine. That does not make us fucking equal. Then.
Right, yeah.
But
you put us together and we do some pretty fucking crazy, amazing shit.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Because we're not held up on this woke concept of equality.
Well, participation trophy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't want the participation trophy. I want the fucking championship trophy. And you can only get that as a team.
Yeah.
The concept of business and what you talked about was people owning a business is they don't understand what it takes to be a business owner. Anyone can own a business, literally. You can have a sole proprietor. You can start an LLC. You can do whatever you want. You can buy a name. Anyone can own a business. Most people, including the people that currently own businesses, are not business owners. They're not leaders. And I don't think this was one of the, I know the pieces. I'm not an advocate for starting new businesses from the ground up. I don't think it's necessary. I
think it's a really difficult thing to do. I mean, especially since we've done it and I know what that looks like. There's a lot of people that, dude, they would be so much better off in life if they worked for someone else.
Yeah.
They could make so much more money. They would be so much happier. Because there's a lot of people that can't compartmentalize stress. And, dude, I mean, Matt and I just got out of a 4-month funk. It sucked for 4 months. We didn't have any good days.
That's agreed.
Yeah.
Like no good days. I think that's important. Like literally no good days.
Right. And like, are you mentally prepared to do that? And for what outcome? It's not guaranteed.
No.
There's nothing saying that because you put yourself through that you're going to win.
Yeah.
And, luckily we're on the upstroke, but we still haven't won yet. I don't know what winning looks like anyway in this fucking shit, But I think people need to think long and hard before they venture down that path of, I want to be in control. I want to be the one calling the shots, because there is a lot of hefty shit that comes with that.
Yeah. I had a conversation today, and we were talking about business ownership, and he said, I started my business just like everybody else did. I worked
Mommy and Daddy gave me $2 million. Just like everybody else.
He said, I worked for somebody and then got pissed and decided I could do it better, and got all the way at the end of the year. And anyway, he said, when I did the math, I was working twice as many hours and made $4 an hour less than he was paying me. And he said, I had all of the stress, all of the responsibility. And he said, what the fuck am I doing? And I think if you're going to be a business owner, you have to understand that you have to know business. Otherwise, you're a fucking job owner.
Right.
Right? And being a job owner is far more riskier than owning a business. But because being a job owner comes with so much ignorance, not stupidity, I want to be clear. It comes with so much ignorance, and that ignorance is business. That ignorance is leadership. It's communication. It is sales. It is systems. It is delegation. It is implementation, because you have what Michael Gerber calls in the E-Myth, you have an entrepreneurial seizure, and you decide to start a business based on a skill that you have. And it's exactly what it is. It's a seizure.
And when you don't know those things and you go into business, like I said, Matt and I just got out of 4 months of no good days. And that's the learning curve of not knowing those things. When you don't understand those things on a conceptual level and you go into these markets and you don't understand compliance, you don't understand legal, you don't understand ARs, APs, all this kind of stuff. And it just seems like trivial shit, like just fucking numbers on a screen, right? And it's like, no, this is these are the biometrics of your company, right? This is the lifeline of your company. If your fucking liver's failing, but your heart's doing fine, you're still going to have some fucking problems, right? And you have to at least have a small grasp of all of the working parts of business. You can't be completely ignorant on them.
Right.
And you got to trust the people that are helping you along that way.
If you're humble enough to get people to help you.
Yeah. The amount of guys I know that are running around doing their own bookkeeping, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know how easy it is to sub that out? I mean, what is your time worth? If you get somebody to do it for $30 an hour, and that's all they have 100 clients, and they handle your bookkeeping in 2 hours a week, what's $60 fucking dollars
Exactly.
to you?
A good night's sleep.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't have to fuck with it.
Yeah.
I met with a new client. I had a consult because my days are fucked. I can't remember if it was last week or this week, but shout out to Chad. You know, he said, I've been listening to you guys for 2 years now. And he said, I've come to terms with the fact that I own a job. What's interesting about that is I hear that from probably every client in the beginning. They're like, I realize I own a job. I'm like, good.
Step one.
Absolutely. Acknowledge it. You know, be aware. And then we can start having the conversations of transitioning you into a business owner and a leader and systems. But the other thing that it affects, and you brought it up too, was you said, you know, most people hate their business. And that's so true.
Because you get so far into it, right? You've invested so much and you won for the first 5 years. And then all of a sudden you don't like it anymore.
Yep.
But now you're stuck. What are you going to do? Go work for somebody else? You're going to liquidate this fucking thing? It's making money.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, seriously,
I've known plenty of people that they do make money on their business and they fucking hate it.
Yeah.
They didn't think that's what the job looked like. There's no job description of business owner.
Right.
You know? Like there's no fucking magical thing that pops up that shows you, hey, just so you know, you're going to miss your daughter's 3rd birthday. Just so you know, Christmas is not on the table this year.
Yep.
And people would be like, no, I'll make time for it.
Just so you know, you're going to have to cut your pay by 50% because you just laid off half your team.
You botched a bid and it went fucking sideways. You're not getting any more money out of it.
Yeah. And you're not getting money out of the next 8 jobs because they're paying for it. It's like you can't read that on paper and comprehend it.
Right.
In a manner that you feel.
You got to feel that in your heart.
Absolutely.
In your heart.
And gut.
Your fucking soul dies a little bit.
It does. It does. I remember vividly the day that I laid off 50% of my team, you know, and, you know, I was transparent with them. They knew that there was a possibility because we were not able to recover from a contract that we lost, that we had poured months and months into. It was a $750,000 contract. It was months of work, and we had spent months getting it.
Yeah.
And then literally overnight, the finance company changed the verbiage, and we were no longer eligible for the job. And we tried for probably 6 or 8 weeks, and we just couldn't recover from it fast enough. And I brought 6 of my guys into our conference room, and I was like, I need you guys to go sign up for unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my plan. And everybody understood because I was transparent. But right after that meeting, you know, I went to my partner and I was like, I'm cutting my pay by 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Until everybody else is back.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. How do you train for that?
That's OJT, man.
Fuck. That's waterboarding is
Right,
what it is,
yeah, right.
you know?
With diesel.
It's you know, it does tear at your soul
Mm-hmm.
if you fucking give a shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I think the type of relationship that you have with your business also reflects the type of person that you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, the relationship you have with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy in a partnership. You can see, you know, between Matt and I, when things aren't going great, things aren't great between him and I.
Right.
It's a direct reflection of who we are. If you're the sole owner and shit's going fucking sideways, it's a relationship you have with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you feel on the inside is projecting through there. And a lot of people are going to hear that and it's going to sound like some hippie shit that doesn't make any fucking sense. But until you're in it, I can't explain it to you any better than that.
Yeah. What's important to understand here, though, is we're not trying to get you to understand how it feels. We're just trying to get you to understand that this shit can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And nobody really preps you for that when you start a business out of rage and discontent. Yeah. And I just, if you're one of those people that you're going out to start a job because you're fucking pissed off at your last boss, make sure that's your only option. I'll put it that way. Make sure that that's your only option to be satisfied is to go do it yourself. Because I'll tell you right now, you will be happier doing it for someone else.
Yeah. I had a client ask me today about the beginnings of Battleborn Welding. Mm-hmm. And
but we haven't told that fucking story 10,000 fucking times on here.
But it made me laugh.
I get to relive this all the fucking time.
It made me laugh. And they were like, oh, were Matt and Nate, like when did they hire? And they were asking me like when Nate transitioned, like when you transitioned out of the truck and went like full estimator and that kind of stuff. And I was like, I just laughed. I said, they shit the bed for 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I said they were pipelining to finance the company because they had no fucking idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
And they were like, really? I was like, yeah, everybody fucks up. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I got no shame.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
But that's what makes the story that much better and it makes it that much more relatable. You know, it's like we've done whatever it takes, and that the mantra in our office is always, we'll figure it out. We always do. Mm-hmm. And we have thus far. Yeah. We'll keep saying that till the day it don't fucking work. So, and that's another thing that people need to realize about going into business is that your ability to adapt will be the ultimate rise and fall of your business. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to go out and tell people you don't know what you're doing? Are you willing to ask for help? Are you willing to hire the right people? Are you willing to fire the right people? Are you willing to get rid of toxicity? Are you willing to work on yourself? Mm-hmm. And it's everybody's, in the immediate, people are like, yep. Till you get down to go do it.
Right.
Are you going to be able to not drink yourself into a fucking coma?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to get up and go to the gym at fucking 4:00 in the morning because your physical health is starting to deteriorate because you sit at a fucking desk for 7 hours a day?
Yeah. One question that I want to ask the listeners, anybody that owns a business and is not in a good spot, when did you stop enjoying it? I think that if people actually stop and are able to answer that question, when did you stop enjoying it? When did this stop being fun? When did you quit looking forward to the challenge? When did you not want to fucking do this anymore? I think that can be very valuable. And I think it's also valuable because people continue to just mope forward with this terrible relationship instead of actually being able to look back and go, when did the shift happen?
Mm-hmm. Because I think once you find out where that shift happened, you'll be able to find out how you're going to fix it.
I agree. Yeah.
Once you identify the problem, once things went, like what part of it took the fucking piss out of your game, and right there will show you exactly what you need to do to fix it. And do you want to fix it? Mm-hmm. You know, do you want to continue to do this? Because this moment will come up again.
Yep.
The struggle will be there again tomorrow. And we've never had a perfect day. Other than when Matt and I were on the tools, you know?
Well, no, I think that's important. If you go into business expecting that you're going to feel successful every day, you are seriously setting yourself up for massive failure.
Dude, I'm looking for like
and
one
disappointment.
a month. Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a moment, right? Give
Yeah.
me a successful moment. Now, I say that. I'm also going to tell you that I am spoiled in what I do because I get to
You're celebrating other people's successes.
I get to help and watch people win every fucking day.
Right.
But when that doesn't become fun for me anymore, I'll change it. You know, but recognizing that it takes a lot of failure to get to that success, to that moment of success, like a lot of days of shit sandwiches to get to that moment of success. And I get really frustrated with, again, these influencers and these fucking TikTokers and these, you know, corporate system plug and plays. They're like, do these 8 things, do these 7 things.
Billionaire's morning routine.
Right. And that's, I mean, I will fucking die on the blue collar hill. And I'm like, and every time I see them, I'm like, you can take that shit, but the moment you try to apply it to blue collar, you're fucked.
Yep.
Like, it's just a different animal.
Wake up at 6 a.m. Be at the gym at 7. It's like, I've been at work for 2 fucking hours by that point, motherfucker. Like,
right.
I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to go to the fucking gym.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I think that the whole, like you said, dude, that plug and play mentality that's out there, nobody's willing to go figure it out for themselves anymore. You know? And there is no key to success. There is no code. There is no.
No.
I fucking hate that that's a marketing tool that these dickbags use. And it's like, dude, go out there and figure it the fuck out. You know? And it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. You're going to bawl your fucking eyes out along the way. Hopefully you don't lop off a finger in the process, you know? But if you figure it out, it'll work. If you figure it out yourself, it'll work. There's tons of, I mean, I guess the unfortunate side is we are influencers.
Stop.
I know.
Oh God, I'm not going to hear the end of it from Katie now.
Uh-huh.
God
Yep.
damn it.
And we're going to have to get you an OnlyFans now.
Hey, you know, I don't have one.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think learning how to do this on your own with guidance from the right places and the right people, you know, we try to give as much guidance as we can, but that comes from real world experience. This isn't regurgitated shit from some fucking dancing TikTok.
No.
You know, we've listened to the brightest and most brilliant people, and you know, we've read the books and we've gone to the conferences and we've done all that, and then we've applied it to real life and seen what the results look like. And fuck, dude, there's some of that stuff that is fucking snake oil. You know, some of the stuff there is bullshit out there in these books. And you go out and you try it out and it doesn't fucking work. And at least you know that it doesn't work now.
Yep.
You know?
Well, because the same ingredients don't work for everybody the same way.
Right.
That's just the reality. And one of the things that I try to encourage people to do is identify and define their leadership style. Right? You trying to implement my leadership style is not going to work.
Yeah, we can't punch the children, Josh.
It's kind of funny when I give examples of like whether, you know, sales, where I am literally like, you can roll up that proposal and stick it in your ass. You know, and I told a client that one day and sold the job.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that doesn't work for everybody.
Right. Yeah, there's a certain demeanor that comes along with it.
100%.
And being 6'1", 6'2" doesn't help. You know, that kind of helps a little bit.
It helps.
Yeah.
And, but it's like, you know, if you're, and I think that's important too. And this is a step a lot of people make. And I've got another guy that I'm coaching, Andy. And he's a really good dude. I've got a really good read on him. He's wanting to kickstart his business back up. And we were talking, and I said, you know, he was telling me this and that. And I said, there's something that you need to understand from me. I'm going to press you for specifics, because I said, I don't want you to generalize what you're going to do and who you're going to be and how you're going to do it. I would rather you give me a specific target and we miss it, as you generalize and you fucking wander around in this business every day. So my point to that is, if you're going to go into business, you need to define what success is for you and define what success for the company is. Define the role that you're going to play. Define the clients that you want to work for and the type of work that you want to do. Don't go out with this fucking bag of generalization every day and do work for money. You've got to fucking define for yourself. Don't do it for your fucking mom, your colleagues, your fucking family. You've got to define it for yourself. Now you have something specific that you can now plug yourself into every day and do the fucking work. Put the reps in.
Yeah. I just going through what we've gone through lately. I wanted to have that conversation about, should you fucking go into business, man? And I think a lot of people don't think about it long and hard enough. And it sucks because you see a lot of fucking scorched corpses on the side of the road because of that. And I mean, you want to talk about a way to become bitter with the world real fucking quick? Go into business, dump everything you have into it, and get your fucking ass handed to you and lose. And lose.
Yeah. One of the defining factors between successful and unsuccessful people is how they respond to failure.
Yeah.
My experience, all my studies and hours, I've learned that's one of the significant behavior traits in successful people is they respond to failure differently than unsuccessful people.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Lord, I mean, we must be on one of those ends of the spectrum because we've fucked up a lot and we're still here. So,
doesn't make it.
I wonder what the actual, if there was a trait that came to dealing with failure. Is it analytics? Is it being able to let it go? Is it contemplation? What metrics actually determine that?
I think grit is a big one.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, but if that was the case, everybody in the trades would be in fucking business,
I disagree. I disagree. They'll have the application of grit to their job, but the formula changes when you go into business ownership.
That's true,
right? The formula and the requirement for grit is blended with resilience. To be a business owner. And that's why, people that are phenomenal at their job and decide to go in business and fail, it's because they got really good and comfortable at this one thing and then thought they could do the same thing the same way at this next level. And that does not work. It's completely fucking different. It's not even the same game.
Right.
I mean, you're not even in the same arena. So do people in the trades have grit? Fuck yeah, they do. They're the toughest people in the world as far as I'm concerned. But to have the mental resilience to own a business and step into and accept failure and learn from it to become successful, that's just a different type of person.
I mean, let me put it this way. Life changes a lot when you stop clocking out.
Yeah, it does.
Your perspective changes, your attention span changes. Life changes when you stop clocking out.
It also, and the reason I'm laughing is when you become self-reliant.
Ooh, yeah.
That is a different game.
Yeah, and I this is going to be kind of counterintuitive what we're saying here, but nobody's coming to save you. No matter who you are or where you are or what you're doing, nobody's coming to save you. You're responsible for yourself. And I think that, business owners, we take that to a whole other level. We understand that not only is nobody coming to save us, but the fucking world's out to get us. And, we'd love to be the protecting factor for everybody that works for us from that. We'd love to take that on and prevent other people from having to deal with the nasty shit that goes on within these industries. And, but yeah, I think that's a pretty brilliant idea there. That you have to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look at how many people that religiously get up in the morning, they go to work, they clock in, they're always on time, right? They're disciplined, they're organized, they're a master of their craft. And the moment that they're not accountable to somebody else, the discipline fades away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would tell you, I am fucking guilty of that, which is why I had to get my office out of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never not left the house
Mm-hmm.
with a bucket of food in the morning,
Right.
you know, for
Yeah.
fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and when I had the opportunity to wake up and just be there, even as disciplined and regimented as I am, it was fucking detrimental to me.
Mm-hmm.
I needed something different to be accountable to.
Yeah, because dude, there's even been days where I have worked from home and I was doing like a lot of data entry before we moved over to JobTread, and I still came in the morning.
Yep.
I still got up, came to the fucking office, did a couple little things on the computer, and helped orchestrate a couple things. I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab my laptop and I'm gonna go to the house and do job entry or data entry. I couldn't have just rolled out of bed, and
right.
personally, I would have felt so bad not putting on fucking jeans and boots and going to work first, and then realizing, okay, this is where I'm going to allocate my time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why, but the boots have to go on. The sun it still has to be dark outside. Otherwise, that's not a fucking day's worth of work. And what a dumb mental hang up. But it doesn't.
I agree.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I
you know?
completely agree.
Yeah.
No, I suffer from the same thing.
When people are like, they're like, oh yeah, I work remotely. Like I haven't put on pants in 3 days, and I'm like, you haven't left the house in 3 fucking days? Like, oh, I didn't need to. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
I'd probably off myself.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. I tried it. It did not. A final point I want to make on this is, if you're going to start a business, or if you have a business, I want you to realize that your business should be a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely should be a gift to the market or to the client, to your team, to the opportunity that you create. It should not be this terrorist that you're held hostage by.
Mm-hmm.
It should be this great fucking thing that you're able to give yourself to, pour yourself into, all your fucking energy and love and hatred and resources and money and broken relationships and everything that you want to sacrifice to make this thing possible. That thing should come out as a fucking gift on the other end, that people will reward you for having. And me personally, I just kind of wanted to like share that, to have people understand that how you perceive your business is how everyone else perceives your business. And if you hate your fucking business, so does everybody else. It's a goddamn privilege to own and run a business and to go out into the market every day and give people this opportunity.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Well, and and then we've had a rough patch lately, and you start to lose sight of that pretty quick, And then things are happening to you, not for you, And instead of taking things as learning situations, you're taking them as resentments, and it took a shift in perspective, and it goes back to the why, right? That shift in perspective came from like, why the fuck am I getting up every goddamn day and doing this shit? 4 months without a good day. Why the fuck are we doing this? And then I was like, okay, well, quit asking that question and start answering it. And then I answered it, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in.
Dude, I heard something the other day. This guy said, he said, it's simple, but it's not easy. But if it's simple, it's doable. And I thought that was really smart. It's like, it is fucking doable.
Dude, my dumb ass can do it. It's doable.
Oh, man. Well, dude, it's good to see you back in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for bringing Gemini. She's been loving on me the whole
I
time
know.
here.
She was in the house half the day today, so
She's being extra lushy.
fucking Velcro dog doesn't like being left alone.
Oh, God.
Should have seen her at the dog park today, dude. She's going fucking ham with a couple of doodles.
Yeah.
She loves hanging out with doodles because they'll just chase her around the whole time. I mean, those doodles, I haven't met one that has more than one brain cell.
They're very...
All energy, not a thought between those
Nope.
ears. Yeah.
Yep. All happy all the time.
She loves that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's her best friend.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a little bit, but we're having the 2-day business builder in Reno. April 3rd and 4th. Nate's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's going to be there. So Battleborn will be attending. We're selling tickets. We got guys coming from all over to this 2-day event. It's limited seating, 25 tickets, 2 days. It's $6.99, but we're going to deconstruct and reconstruct your business, your system, operations, leadership, everything in 2 days. I'm doing a joint venture with Greg with True Pros. He's coming in to teach the financials, how to read your financial gauges, how to understand profit, how to understand if you're making money. Let's just face it, like if you're making money or not. So, again, seats are limited. Jump over to the website, get your tickets, and you'll get to see us in person. Which I mean, we're not even charging you for that.
That's worth the $600 right there.
Not even charging you for that. So, yeah, you can come to that. You can meet us in person. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am fucking pumped about that event, and it's going to be awesome. So
it's going to fall in line pretty well with, our revamping of our business and our systems and all that shit. So it'll be good to like clean slate the things we haven't thought about clean slating, like, cause we had all these pinch points within this rough patch. And so it's like, okay, we knew where to completely strip and restart. And so I'm sure there's a lot of like background shit that we're not even paying attention to right now, like business plans and stuff like that. We're more focused on operations, and we've done a ton with financial lately. So that's
well, a lot of my clients are going to be there, but if you're listening, especially to this conversation, and you are unhappy with your business, or you don't know how to lead, or you don't understand the finances of your company, and you're just in a bad spot, you need to fucking, that's why we called it the business builder. Is we are building or rebuilding your business in 2 days. So if that's how you feel, go get your fucking ticket. We're going to change everything about you and your business.
You're going to walk out of there with a fucking plan.
Fuck yeah. Your job will be to implement. So you can find Nate on Instagram at NateNoon87. I am on Instagram at The Tradesman Experience. Email is thetradesmanexperience@gmail.com. Website's thetradesmanexperience.com. And the YouTube channel is The Tradesman Experience. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Get out there and get shit done. Be proud to be a tradesman. See ya.